There are so many cryptos that are trying to be Ethereum killers, but is Algorand the one that is closest to being an Ethereum killer? Well, we'll try and find out that in today's analysis. We look at four things, right? What's great, what's good, right? What are the risks, and what should you really be doing? Let's start with this, right? What is Algorand? Well, Algorand is a blockchain, a general purpose blockchain that is trying to replace Ethereum, right? So they are trying to solve the blockchain dilemma of decentralization, speed, and security. So, like many other projects, they are also trying to do the same thing, but in a very different way, in their own particular way. They have a different consensus mechanism called pure proof of stake. It's very different from how normal blockchains approach it. It's very different from, let's say, a Solana or a Binance and so on. Considering that Binance just got hacked, well, will Algorand be a blockchain that is testing? Will it stand the test of time that others did not probably stand? Well, we'll try and look at that. Who created this? Well, there is a Turing Award-winning MIT professor who is the founder of Algorand, right? So, Silvio Micali is the founder. He is a faculty at MIT. He's an electrical and at the electrical engineering and computer science department. In fact, he has so many laurels to his so many feathers in his cap that it's probably insane that someone like this has created this blockchain, right? Because he is the co-inventor of many of the things that many blockchains are using, like zero knowledge proofs. These are technologies that many blockchains are using, and he is literally the inventor of all these protocols, which are the foundations for modern cryptography. And Silvio decided to create Algorand back in 2017, and he has a wonderful team that is working on this. So, going by the team, you cannot be in safer hands than this. Another interesting thing that Algorand has so far accomplished is that one, they have been the chosen partner for the Marshall Islands CBDC. What is that? Well, around the world, countries are trying to issue central bank digital currencies, and Marshall Islands was the first one that probably partnered with Algorand, and they're trying to issue something called SOV, right? It stands for sovereign. They find a lot of advantages in this, and Algorand is supposedly the blockchain that is the underlying technology behind this sovereign currency that they're inventing. In addition to that, there are talks of about at least 16 countries, in talks with Algorand for CBDC. So if that happens, then there is no other better validation, right? Because countries usually take things at probably the most risk averse way. So if that is happening, then there's nothing better than that. So this is really great if something like this is happening. In addition to that, there are 490 plus projects and growing. Right? If you go down to their ecosystem, you will see that there are projects across the board, right, from NFTs, DeFi projects, etc., metaverse projects, and so on and so forth. And there are at least 490 projects already listed. There might be many more, not really listed on this ecosystem page, but there might be many more in the pipeline. This is just 2 years since Algorand has come out as a blockchain, and the functionalities are just coming out. So 490 projects, that's a pretty good value. The total value locked is high as well, so that is a plus. Now, what else is good? Well, one is that it's permissionless. We analyzed a lot of blockchains, and we saw that many of them actually don't make things so easy. Right? It's not easy to be a node, and if you take Binance for instance, you need a minimum of 10,000 BNB tokens for you to be able to stake and become a validator. So the barriers for entry are high. In Algorand is as low as zero point 0.1 Algorand, so that's great. That's something that helps in decentralization. They have very strong usage metrics. Um, if you go down to the metrics section, you'll see that more like close to 7 million transactions have happened in the last 7 days alone. More than 27 million addresses, and about 1,650 nodes are live as of today. If you look at Binance, that's I think 26 or some double-digit number. It's very low. This is really good if they have so many. Right, 1,650 is pretty good. Of course, nothing compared to the likes of Ethereum, but this is still good. Average transactions per second has also been very high. If you look at their average transactions per second, the last 7 days, it's been about 11.6. Their peak was about 6,192. So this blockchain is able to handle such a large variation. They are built for scale, so that is a plus point. They also have very strong chain analytics. Right? If you go into the block and search for Algorand, you will see that there are some pretty interesting facts. One is this, that the price correlation with Bitcoin is a negative 0.5. Right? So what this means is that if something is correlated to 1, that means if Bitcoin goes up, then Algorand will move up. Right? If it's negatively correlated, it means if Bitcoin goes up, Algorand might actually go down. Right? This is just for the last 30 days, but what indication that this gives us is that Algorand's price is completely delinked from Bitcoin. Right? They have an independent identity, and that is amazing. Most cryptos don't have that. In fact, Ethereum itself is 0.95 correlation to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum will go up, and vice versa. So having a negative correlation means that they are carving out an identity. There is a reason for some reason Algorand price is not moving as per Bitcoin, and that is very interesting. And it's if it sustains, that's a very good metric. If you look at composition of holders, well, about 14% are holding it for more than a year. About 83% are holding it for less than 1 year. Right? And only about 5% of people are making money at today's price. That also means that this is a great entry point. Right? You will get it at probably the price that some of the early adopters got it. So this number is very important for you from that perspective. Now, what are the risks? There are a few risks that I discovered while trying to do some research. One is that relay nodes are managed by Algorand. What does this mean? First, let's understand what are these nodes. Well, there are two things, right? One is a relay node, right? The other one is a protocol node, right? A participation node. Sorry. Now, a participation node is essentially your validator. Right? The participation node is somebody who's going to participate in consensus and then add the transactions onto a block. Whereas a relay node is somebody who is communicating that across the entire blockchain. Right? So both of these are very important. The relay node helps in spreading the message across. The risk that I found is that while being a participation node is very easy, you need a minimum balance of 0.1 algo. If you look at this question here, it says you just need any Algorand account must have a minimum balance of 0.1 algo to get started. So that is great, right? That's one of the highlights of decentralization. However, if you are a relay node, then not anybody can become a relay node. Right? That is something that is a bit of a concern, because it says here that who manages a list of relay nodes? Today, Algorand Foundation manages the official list of relay nodes to bootstrap a scalable and reliable initial infrastructure backbone. This is something that I am extremely afraid of, because just yesterday we saw how the validators came together and decided to stop the Binance chain. Right? That is not something that is a true characteristic of a blockchain. If in this case the validators are not anybody can become a validator, but if the official list of relay nodes are still in the control of Algorand, that means that the Algorand Foundation has the capability to stop the blockchain if required. They still hold that key at some point. They still hold, they can squeeze that chain at any point they want to, and that's a huge risk that I'm looking at. Second one is that the validator is not rewarded. Now this makes no sense, right? Validators, they are saying in places that while the validators are not rewarded, but we will give them sufficient support to ensure that they can continue doing their operations. But this makes no sense. Why will you not reward the validator? No, forget about them. Why will a validator come here and put in computing resources or put in some amount of money or anything for that matter to become a validator if you're not getting rewarded? Right? Economically, it does not make sense. This is something of a risk that I see. Then there is a risk of dilution. As of today, Algorand is totally, they have about 10 billion tokens. Of that, I think roughly 60% is in circulation right now. Another 40% will come out in the next few years. So there is a chance that, given nothing changes at the demand end, if you buy today, there is a chance that the price of Algorand that you're holding could go down by maybe about at least half, right? Maybe about 50%. So you have a severe dilution risk. That's something that you need to be very aware of. And the last one is the roadmap for 2023 and beyond is not clear. It cannot be such an early stage project and not have roadmap for the next few years. So this is something that I'm quite concerned about. If you take very good projects like Chainlink, for instance, they have a second or a third white paper coming out. That is the level to which the foundation or the original team or at least the community must be working towards to to push the project ahead, and that is something that I don't see here, and that's a bit of a concern for me. Well, what should you do? Well, the first one is that do your own research. Right, I cannot stress enough on this. I will link all these websites in the description. You can go through it. Please do your own research before putting your own money into it. Consider a basket of L1s and L2s. I always recommend investing in a basket of similar tokens, right? Maybe tokens of the same theme, because it is possible that these are like early stage startups, right? Many of them might fail, some of them might succeed. Overall, you want your portfolio to grow. It doesn't matter if one token goes to zero, the other one will probably give you a 50x, right? So consider a basket of L1s. Concentrate on Ethereum, because so far I don't think any crypto has come even remotely close to becoming as good as Ethereum. I personally have a lot of concentration in Ethereum. I don't think any of these are even remotely Ethereum killers. Although as an investment, it's worthwhile to consider putting it in a small basket or in a small investment into a basket of these cryptos. But I still concentrate my investments in Ethereum because I don't think there's anything that is remotely close to it. Algorand today is trading at about 33 cents. They are down almost 90% from their all-time high. So that is something that you need to carefully look at. That is something that you need to evaluate. You are getting Algorand today at a price that most early adopters would have got it at. So if you are considering investing, then there is no time than now. So do look at the price and make your decision. Finally, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, tell your friends about it. Welcome to the Wave Crypto Club. Stay tuned for more such amazing videos.